Minasan konnichiwa. Junri Isopararo sensei desu. Kyou wa Mina no Nihongo grammar lesson o benkyou shimashou. This is our sixth module for Japanese 1 Nihongo, and these are the objectives of today's lesson. One is familiarize the vocabulary words in lesson 1 of Mina no Nihongo, and use the grammatical patterns noun 1 plus wa plus noun 2 plus des, noun 1 plus wa plus noun 2 plus ja arimasen, ska, questions with interrogatives in expressing oneself. Okay, so let's start with a short activity. So I want you to answer this. Okay, please write your answers down in the comment section below so that your names will be acknowledged and your responses would be recorded. Are you ready? じゃあ始めましょう。これは何ですか? Can you tell me what is this word in Romaji? Please type it down in the comment section. What about this one? Okay, can you tell me what this word is in Romaji? Okay, please type the answer in the comment section below. Now, I'll give you the answer. For the first one, we have ramen. Ramen. Ramen is a soup in Japan with noodles. It's a noodle soup. Maybe the closest equivalent in the Philippines would be bak choy. So it's similar to ramen, bak choy. And another one is potato. So one of the favorite, maybe we call it more of comfort foods in Japan. One of the most favorite comfort foods would be fries. Okay, so we usually say potato fries. Okay, but here we have French fries. Okay, and many Filipinos also love that. Okay, so the first is ramen, and another one is potato. Okay, another one, what is this? Okay, please type your answer in the comment section below. What about the second one? Okay, I hope you can identify that. Write your answer in the comment section below. So the first word is Manila. Manila. Do you know what Manila is? Yes, the capital city of the Philippines, Manila. And the second one is, it's me, my name, Junri. Junri. So the first one is Manila, and another one is Junri. So that's how my name is written in Japanese, in katakana. Okay, because these are all foreign words. So again, I would like to say that foreign words, which are borrowed by the Japanese, are written in katakana, and the local words are written in hiragana and kanji. Okay, now moving forward. So we have here now some words that we are going to learn in this module. So we have the Japanese words in the first column, and the equivalent eigo means English in the second column. So Nihongo, it's Japanese, and eigo, it's English. Let's start with the first one. Please repeat after me. Watashi means I. Watashi. Watashi wa junri desu. So in Japanese, watashi means I. So watashi wa junri desu. Okay. Watashi wa Philippine jin desu. Okay, so something like that. So watashi means I. Another one is watashi tachi means we. Watashi tachi wa Philippine jin desu. So watashi tachi means we. That includes me, you, and everyone. Okay, in that particular place, for example. Another one is anata means you. Okay. However, we cannot say anata without wa. Okay, because it might be misinterpreted by some as husband, because in Japan, women call their husband anata. So it's safe to say anata wa. Okay, so anata wa. So always put wa as a marker there to indicate that anata there is not your husband, okay, but you. Another is anohito, that person. So ano is that and hito is person. Minasan, ladies and gentlemen, all of you, you might have noticed that every time I address you on group chat, I would always say minasan konbawa or minasan konnichiwa because I'm referring it to everyone. Minasan. So mina there is everyone, but sang there is the honorific. So even addressing everyone, we always show honor, or we always show politeness. That's why we put sang in there. Okay? And then we have the following honorifics: san, chan, kun, jin. So Mr. and Miss is san. Okay, so for example, Akiko-san. Okay, that is Miss and Mr. Okay, for example, or Duterte-san. Okay, something like that. And then chan is suffix attached to a child's name. So chan, kun, chan and kun. So chan is for a child, okay, but normally aka-chan, for example, for a baby, an infant, so we call it chan, aka-chan. Aka means child. However, if the child is already like bigger, maybe 5 years old or 6 years old, we always use kun for boys and chan for girls, younger girls and younger boys, kun. That is why I can call you, for example, Joselito kun if you're younger than me, or I can also say Vivian Chan, for example, because you're younger than me. So you are Chan. Okay? A girl younger than the person talking, or a boy younger than a person talking, can be addressed to as Kun and Chan. Okay? And Jin can be attached, it's a suffix that can be attached to a word or a place to mean that you come from that place. Philippine is country, Jin is the nationality. So Philippine Jin means you are a Filipino. America Jin means you are an American. Indo Jin, you are an Indian. Okay, so something like that. Or Furanso Jin. Okay, so you are French. Okay, so something like that. Nihon Jin. So Nihon Jin, so meaning you are Japanese. And we have sensei, teacher. Okay, so we always say Junri sensei. So the sensei is always in the end. Unlike in English, we say teacher Junri. We say that, right? But in Japanese, we say sensei in the end of the name. So Junri sensei. That is why sometimes when you teach English to Japanese, they would say Junri teacher, because they tend to translate directly Japanese to English. But the correct one in Japanese, it should be always after the word. So Superado sensei, for example, Esperar sensei, okay, or Gomez sensei, for instance. Okay, we have other words such as gakusei. Gakusei means student, okay, but we don't say Junri gakusei, okay. So gakusei, well, it's a student, right? But we don't use this as an honorific to a person. So we do not say, Vivian Gakusei, for example. So we don't say that, okay? But we can say Gakusei wa, okay? So something like that. And then kaishaing, company employee, okay? Ginkoing, bank employee, and denki is electricity or light. Okay, so I hope that you will study these vocabulary words, because it's very important for this lesson to have a rich vocabulary so that it would be easier for you to formulate sentences. So the secret of coming up with a beautiful sentence is actually it lies actually on your richness in vocabulary. Okay, so let's begin with the grammar patterns. This is lesson 1 for grammar patterns. We will learn the pattern noun 1 plus wa plus noun 2 plus des. Okay, so the rule says the particle wa indicates that word before it is the topic of the sentence. You select a noun you want to talk about, add wa, to show that it is the topic and give a statement. So for example, watashi wa. So the topic is me. I am the person being talked about. Watashi wa junri desu. Okay, for example. So I'm talking about myself. Okay, that is the topic. Or Duterte-san wa Filipino daitorio desu. So Mr. Duterte is the president of the Philippines, for example. So the wa there, the first name Duterte wa. So that is the tetisang wa, that is our topic of the sentence. What there indicates that that is the topic of the sentence. So let's take a look at this example given, or this pattern with the following examples. Okay, so again, I'd like to emphasize there the wa there. So we have the examples here. Watashi wa Maiku Miller desu. Okay, so as you can see, we have used wa. So it means that watashi, the person talking, is Mike Miller. Okay, so kori wa sushi desu. Okay, so for example, you're holding a sushi. So kore, it's, you're talking about what you are holding now. So but this is not sushi, this is a phone, right? So kori wa sushi desu. So you are showing close to the person. Sori wa denki desu. So far from me but closer to the person that I'm talking to. So sori wa, so I'm referring it to the object that is close to you, the person I'm talking to. Okay, so did you get it? Okay, so another example, Lenny Robredo wa Filipino Vice President desu, for example. So Lenny Robredo is the subject because of the wa there, which is a topic marker. Okay, so that's very clear. That's the simplest grammar pattern so far. The second one is noun 1 plus wa plus noun 2 plus ja arimasen. Okay, so ja arimasen is a negative form of des. So des is affirmative. Watashi wa junri desu. So I am junri. That is right. Des there is affirmative. But this time we'll learn the negative. It's negative form of des. It is a form used in a daily conversation for a formal speech of writing. Dewa arimasen is used instead. So ja arimasen is informal, and then dewa arimasen is more polite. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the examples here. Okay, santo-san wa gakusei ja arimasen. So which means that the topic of the sentence is santos-san, right? Because of the wa. So we're talking of wa. So who is santo-san? He is not, or he is not a student. Gakusei ja arimasen. Okay. However, if you want to sound more polite, you can say gakusei dewa arimasen. But ja arimasen and dewa arimasen are completely the same. It's just that in terms of politeness, dewa arimasen is more polite than ja arimasen. Okay? But we learned in the first pattern that wa is a topic marker, that the word before that is the topic of the sentence. Okay? So, moving to the third pattern, and this time we'll learn ska. So the particle ka is or subject plus ka. So the particle ka is used to express the speaker's doubt, question, uncertainty, etc. A question is formed by simply adding ka to the end of the sentence. A question ends with rising intonation. So the ka there that is added in the end of the sentence makes the sentence like doubting. It could be a question or uncertainty. For example, anata is you, right? So I would say, anata wa Robert desu ka? So which means that I'm not sure if you are Robert. So des is affirmative plus ka, which is asking a question. It could be doubt, a question, or uncertainty. So anata wa Robert san desu ka? So something like that. So let's take a look at some examples to understand this particular pattern more. So for example, you say, Philippine desu ka? Okay, so I'm not sure if you're a Filipino. You look like a Chinese or a Japanese. But I'm doubting if you are a Chinese or Japanese. Or maybe you look like a Filipino, but I have doubts that you aren't a Filipino. So I say, Philippine desu ka? So are you a Filipino? Or anata no desu ka? Okay, so, and the last is, doko e ikimasu ka? Okay, so you are doubting here. Okay, so anata no, it's what are you? Okay, so doko e ikimasu ka? Where are you going? So the ka here signifies that you are asking a question, you are doubting, or you are uncertain about something, about the topic. Okay? Because the topic is always here. Philippine Jin. Okay, subject. So here we don't put topic but either subject. The first word is the subject and of the question, right? So the subject is the thing or the object or the topic, or should I say the object of the question. Okay, that's why we say Philippine Jin desu ka? Okay. Cell phone desu ka? For example, we would say that. Okay. So speaker desu ka? Okay, so we say that. Cell phone stand desu ka? So you are asking something. You are confused if this is a mask. So mask desu ka? Okay. So if you are asking, you are doubting, you are uncertain, you put ka, desu ka. Okay. That is already word plus desu ka. So that is already question. Okay. Now let's move on to another use of ska. Okay. So questions asking a statement is correct or not. As mentioned above, a sentence becomes a question when ka is used to the end, right? So the word order does not change, and the questions thus made asks whether a statement is correct or not, depending on whether you agree with a statement or not. Your answer to such question begins with hai or iye. So hai is yes, iye is no. So you can use hand gestures or your face, maybe facial expression, to show your response. So you say, hi, hi. So hi, it's like this. It's nodding many times. Some Japanese would really nod, in an affirmative way. Hi, hi, something like that. Or iye, iye. Okay, you can just shake your head back and forth. Okay, so iye. Now let's take a look at the examples here. Okay. Miller-san wa America jin desu ka? So you're asking if Miller is an American. So is Miller an American? Okay. So the answer is, okay, ka is a question, right? Miller-san wa America jin desu ka? So the answer is, hai, America jin desu. Okay. So hai means yes, and then America jin, meaning to say you are confirming that Miller-san is an American, plus des makes the sentence polite. Okay? So Miller-san wa America jin desu ka? Hai, America jin desu. Miller-san wa sensei desu ka? So you are asking this time if Miller is a teacher. Okay? Is Mr. Miller a teacher? So the answer is iye, sensei ja arimasen. So now you are answering no, he is not a teacher. So iye, which is no, plus the subject or the topic that you are talking about, if he is sensei, if he's a teacher, so sensei plus ja arimasen. However, if you want to sound polite, you can also say iye, sensei de wa arimasen. Okay, but still the meaning is the same. You are just increasing the degree of politeness. Okay, so now let's move on to the third use of ska. Questions with interrogative. So an interrogative replaces the part of the sentence that covers what you want to ask about. The word order does not change, and ka is added at the end. So let's take a look at the examples here to get a full picture of how the third ska is used. Okay. Ano kata wa dunata desu ka? Okay. So you are asking if that person is, who is that person? Okay. So we use ka here if you are confirming if who is that person. You do not know him, but he seems so familiar, but you cannot remember his name. So ano means who. That. So ano means that. Kata means person. But you can say hito. Hito is okay. But if you want to sound more polite, you can use kata. So that is why ano kata instead of ano hito. Ano kata wa. So you are talking of ano kata, right? Because of the wa. Dunata desu ka? Dunata is the politer term of the word dare. Dare is who. Okay, who. So you say donata. It's more polite. So although you can say ano hito wa dari desu ka, that's also okay. But in this case, the more polite version of ano hito wa dari desu ka is ano kata wa dari desu donata desu ka. So we use here ka to confirm. I mean to ask who is that person. And the answer is ano kata wa Miller sang desu. Okay, if you know that person, you can say that person is Mr. Miller. Okay, so that's the use of the third ka, and we are done with our first lesson for grammar for module 6. Okay, minasan kore de owari desu. Arigato gozaimashita. See you next time. Sayonara.